Buddy, back again. George with Warp Charge Gaming here with my homies Chris and James for another Thursday night talk show. Right? This is what we
What
do
up?
every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is episode 59. Moving along. Time keeps on slipping. It's
You
pretty.
almost had me excited. I thought you said 69.
We're not there yet. Not yet, James.
So close.
That very special
You
celebratory
saying we
day.
don't know each other well enough to 69, George?
No, I'm just saying we're not. Okay, sure.
Damn it. I totally forgot. I'm supposed to kind of keep it PG-13 because we did a good thing. Well, we didn't do a good thing. Towdark did a good thing.
Towdark did do a good thing. Chris, did you get a chance to see that little update video we posted?
I did. Dude, that's cool, man. That's super, super cool. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that you always have to preach about. You know, you got to keep growing the community. And, I mean, it's nice to see our fans pay it forward, you know?
Oh, man, what a sick deed that Towdark provided for this young gentleman. I love calling him Young Man Charlie. Will, the owner of Battlegrounds, you know, I was like, hey, Will, you know, Towdark wants to hook up someone with our first Patreon reward, and Towdark's our first sub. Hit us up for the Most Fun Seriously tier. It's the biggest tier we have, and that put him in the entry to be the first to be drawn in both the $10 and $5 drawing. So we got a $150 shopping spree, and Towdark's like, yo, man, I'm doing well in life. I want to push this forward. And I asked Will, like, hey, who is somebody kind of in need? And I was pretty fortunate. You know, I'm glad that there wasn't anybody kind of hard up that models would make them better off in life. So we decided to help push the young the young youth of our community forward into the 40K universe here. And Charlie was such a cool young dude. His mom plays with him.
What up, Bobby?
And so did his dad. So it's like a family that plays. And we got to give this kid this shopping spree, and I got to sit down with Charlie, do a little video. You can catch it on our Facebook page. Super adorable. I'm sure Charlie'd rather be thought of as a
badass,
a badass cool kid, which he is. But man, was he cute as hell! That just like I got my orcs. Oh man, I loved it. I loved it. It was super good.
I gotta say, I was a little bit jealous of Charlie because he's all over there. He's like, yeah, I got all these Marines, right? But like now I almost got like 2,000 points of orcs, and I'm like, damn, I want 2 armies. I only got 1 still.
I feel that.
I got variations of it, but I want 2 armies.
Yeah, man.
Yep. That's got to be a pretty cool feeling. I know I'd be stoked if I were him.
Dude, if I was a 14-year-old that knew about this hobby, I'd be so stoked. And like as parents, like, dude, he's not playing video games. He's doing like real math. Like, there's no app for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's huge.
Totally.
Yeah, it's way more stimulating. I think it's a cool hobby. You don't see people that young get into the hobby often enough. I mean, I think I started when I was like 16, but
I didn't get to get started till I was 24.
Yeah.
Dude, I was 26, I think.
For some reason, I think I was even older than that. Maybe I was like 28. I've honestly kind of forgot at this point when I got started. I don't even know anymore. It's blended together.
Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like it was like 6 years ago, George. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I was like 27 or something. I just turned 33 here recently. So did my bro Will. Just got a birthday. That was pretty cool. Played some 40K. Man, I know you got some 40K in too recently, Chris. I want to talk a little bit on the show about your battle with Connor. And
just before I get into that, what up, Shadizo? What up, Big Cleat and Uriel? Big Cleat saying he was 13 when he got in the hobby. And
gotcha. Man, I'm trying so hard to watch the show. I can't seem to get onto the show via my tablets and stuff. I'm here at home. I want to be able to see what people are saying.
Dude, 1,000 years ago, are you a vampire or are you Highlander? Because if you're a Highlander, I'm coming to chop your head off in July. But if you're a vampire, dude, I might like work out a deal with you, bro.
There you
stuck on something.
Me and Mike used to work together, and the joke was always, since we started so long ago, is the Horus Heresy books start off with something like the quote, like, I was there when the Emperor, was struck down, blah, blah, blah.
You just reminded me, Chris, we were just talking, maybe we can get some help from our friends on the chat right now, but we were talking about James made a really cool shirt design for Khorne, and Khorne obviously skulls for the Skull Throne, blood for the Blood God, Wog for the Orcs. We were trying to think of some good Necron sayings. Let me show you guys at home this sweet shirt that James came up with. Blam.
I love this shirt.
Super dope. We just got it up on warpchargegaming.com at our store if you guys want to order a shirt that's made to order. But I'm stoked on this design. We're definitely going to get a couple to rock some RTTs and whatnot. But we were trying to think of a Necron shirt. Necron shirt, Necron logo. What do you guys think out there? I said "My will be done," which I think is a cool thing that they say.
I think that's also really cool, George. That's why I put in a binary code for "My will be done" into our chat.
Oh, is that what that was?
Damn.
I just got the ones and
if
zeros.
you would have Googled all those ones and zeros, it says "My will be done."
Oh, damn. Slick stuff, James. I like that. Yeah, so I wonder if anybody else got any good advice there. My will be done, and I also like more pylon, of course. I mean, fuck.
Classic.
Always more pylon.
That's a classic. But I think it's too inside jokey.
Yeah, I feel
you.
Constructing more pylon might be too like IP fringy.
PR.
Right. No love for us Jakari Archons.
No, there is no love for any pointed ears of any kind.
I'm especially bitter at the knife ears at the moment.
Let's talk about it, Chris. Tell us about your bout with the Eldar recently and why.
Oh man,
why you suck? Why'd you get wrecked again, brah?
So let me set the stage first of all, because everything early on this game went entirely to my advantage.
Okay.
Connor's deployment was sloppy. I rolled a 6 to seize because I wasn't going to seize. I was prepared to just use prepared positions and use my 2-up armor save. I completely wiped out his Guardian Blob turn 1 and was even able to take some crack shots at characters. Killed the Avatar turn 1 before it could even do anything.
Wow.
And I just kept getting browbeat back and back. I think I was a little too forwardly aggressive with my Tyrants. I picked really bad secondaries because against Connor, I always pick the same ones. This is the one game where I was like, oh, I'm going to try different secondaries because maybe I'm losing because I'm picking bad secondaries. Nope. My classic secondaries actually would have gotten me way more points.
Was he tagging you and shutting you down, and just like?
Eventually, he was tagging me. Admittedly, we were playing the Hammer and Anvil deployment, which is my least favorite for my army. Not a good excuse, but nonetheless, I feel like that hampers my firing lanes the most. I even got to knock out some witches before they could do anything. And just over time, there was one moment on the second to last turn or last turn where I was convinced I was going to win. Even though it was becoming a closer and closer game. What's his name? The Farseer character, Eldrad.
Yeah.
He literally charged a Tyrannofex, took 10 hits, made every single freaking 3-up invulnerable save. And that was really the nail in my coffin. I was just like, oh, well, that's game. I don't have anything left. The last real offensive shooting I have left to, beat you is right in this little corner, and he locked me up with Eldrad of all things.
Wow.
And that was it. I was just like, my God, honestly, the final score because of secondaries and the primaries, devastatingly in his favor. It wasn't even really a close game by the end on score. So Connor's win streak continues. I'm pretty salty about it. But it has got me wheels turning about my list. I'm not sure that I'm changing it at this point, but I'm considering making some changes that I don't think are bad for my list. But I want to get in 1 or 2 more reps before I make these changes, ideally.
So I talking a little bit last night, you guys were, talking about witches and guardians and putting 4+ invulns on guardians and witches.
I hate that 4-up invuln in close combat.
Yeah, and then protect, and then witches getting the close combat invulnerable. And it in tandem with that conversation, I had just played a game last night where Will and I had created a list with Chaos Space Marines to spam as many bodies as possible and abuse the because they have a tide of traitors now for Chaos Space Marines that is not just once per game like it is for cultists. So we wanted to make a list that abused the tide of traitors as much as possible, and it ended up.
I think you did it.
Oh, it was quite strong. Just there's some really fun mechanics with spamming this. So it ended up being, you take Red Corsairs, you max out CP, and he took a cultist battalion and a Chaos Space Marine battalion. It was 60 Marines, 3 squads of 20, and then like a 30-30 and a 24 or something of cultists. But it was totally like I had this here. I actually have image of the army I was playing. I brought Space Wolves, and it was funny because he had all these, just regular Marines, and I had these big ass dreadnoughts with like T7, T8, and I took the quad bolter launchers from Forge World. I just had a ton of shots, heavy bolters, -1, like perfect for killing them.
So you ran those as actually the bolters, not the laser destroyers. Okay.
Yep. And they were my screen killers, and I even took like quad heavy bolters or twin quad heavy bolters on the Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought, took the double storm cannon arrays, which is like 20 shots on the Relic Leviathan. But I just had a shit ton of shooting that was Marine killing. I was wiping them, but he just kept coming back. And the fun thing is that you can be kind of unconventional with it because you can do it every turn. You got a bunch of CP from the Corsair battery that you just do it as a redeploy. You do it as like the jump for the boys, and you're putting them in. You just continue to spam objective secured onto the objectives in like an endless tide. And the fun thing is that like you could look at my army and you can say, okay, your max output from any given guy, the Relic Leviathan has 20 shots, this guy, and then everybody else is like 12 shots. So knowing that they could only kill, beyond the Relic Leviathan, 24 models in a single shooting phase, you could just stick out like 20 guys and know that no matter what, 10 guys are going to be removed to be out of line of sight from the remainder of the shooting. And you can fuck with their max output of shots and make sure that you're not going to lose the entire squad and be able to consistently gain those points of tide of traitoring and getting that unit at full strength again. And he'd put like missile launchers in each one too, so he's getting all those missile launchers back, and they're like heavy. He was knocking my dreads down, which is heavy hitting missile launchers coming from different squads. So it was really effective, and we just started laughing at the absurdity of a whole bunch of troops that don't go away and objectives secured. And we started talking about how you just take the trashiest units, your troops basically, the most non-cool stuff, and you call it the trash list. And we just started making all these different trash lists of the factions. Chris threw down one last night with
I like that list.
240 gaunts, I think.
270 gaunts.
Oh God! So I actually constructed my list today. Let me show a picture. This is my trash list I came up with. Trust the trash, or trush. I was so stoked on just the theme of this, where it has all 3 Chaos Gods. You got the pink.
George.
Yeah.
I don't mean to distract too much, but we have a thanks from a Charlie Schaefer. Glad I'm able to catch the stream. Just wanted to forward a massive thanks to Tau Dark. Time to paint some orcs.
Oh, super cool, Charlie. Charlie joined us. I actually got a picture of me and Charlie. Blam! Jumping ahead. Here's me and Charlie stoked on getting him set up with some Mega Knobs, a Weird Boy, and a sweet orc truck. You got to have some trucks in your orc mobs there. But yeah, it was super fun to get to do a little interview and hang out with Charlie. And man, I'm glad you got to jump on the show, man. So yeah, we're talking about right now. Orcs, their trash is the best because orc boys rule.
Oh man, orc boys are gross.
Right. You can definitely get pretty wacky when you take the if you just go pure troops, what faction stands the tallest when you go with the theme of going all troops like that? And 270 synapsed gaunts is very disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
A ton of invulnerable demons that have icons, and ones get D6 back. And I love how by bringing all 3 Chaos Gods troop slots like this, and I give them a demon prince for each one per James's suggestion, that I have combat with my bloodletters, deep striking in. You got Nurglings for infiltrate, plague bearers for hard standing units with minus modifiers to kill, and then you got double pink horrors that put out 90 shots a squad while they're above 30 with reroll 1s to hit and wound. It's awesome. You got shooting, standing power, infiltrating, combat with the demon princes, plus being able to handle flyers. You have psychic. It participates in all the phases. So I'm really excited to try it out.
Yeah, I was. Your list is scary, man. I was actually doing some number crunching just because, I have some dedicated, anti, low toughness kind of screen-ish stuff, even stuff that I feel excels at killing demons. But, you just have so many bodies. I think I can kill, maybe 40-ish a turn with my, anti-horde, and it's just oh, yeah, I wiped one of your units, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a scary list.
I think it could actually work. What do you think, James, as fellow Chaos brethren? I think it's a fun situation.
Dude, there's nothing I don't like about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially since you dropped the unit of 10 and went with the 2 units of 20 bloodletters. I think that's so much more clutch. Deep strike, all that shit.
Yeah.
You have enough staying power on the board. And even if they want to target the pink horrors first, I mean, and because you have the changeling there, I'm presuming.
I traded the changeling for the demon prince.
Oh, man.
A 6-up feel no pain versus, reroll ones and the fighter.
The only reason why is because they have a 4-up invul and then they have a 6-up feel no pain. So, like, it still has that, like, double save aspect that the plague bearers have. So they can be a screen in their own right.
Yeah, it's nice to have for sure. But, yeah.
I think the demon prince is clutch. Rerolling ones when you're relying on them to shoot is really, really important. Same with combat. You need the corn demon prince.
I'm also making him the warlord with the impossible robe because the demon warlord trait for Tzeentch is awesome. I never noticed it before, but it's called Demon Spark, and it lets you do reroll ones to wound and shooting. So,
nice.
So all the Tzeentch shooting becomes reroll ones to hit and wound off a single character.
Very nice.
It's all beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's going to be fucking sick, man. But the Tide of Traders thing is no joke. We were cracking up because the Marines now, they have the a stratagem that can they can turn off your objective secured.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So, like, when we were talking about doing the trash mirror, trash versus trash, then he can actually shut my OPSEC down.
What the F?
Yeah. And then, and of course, also the Marines they get Abaddon, so they can have fearlessness. And then also it's hilarious because he's talking about really getting the 3 crowns to have the 5-up invul bubbles.
Noctilus crowns or whatever they're called.
Yeah, just making his own natural walls of line of sight blocking.
So
helping his 8-14 wounds. It's like a Tyrannofex.
Most people would think that's absolutely ludicrous. I seriously considered it. And the reason why is as soon as I played the Dark Apostle and I was going through the different ways to like utilize these prayers, and a big one that I kept finding myself wanting to play in a game was the 5-up invul. And you have to be wholly within, same with the crown. But the thing with the Apostle, he's 100 points, and you have to roll a 3-up in the movement phase to get this aura off, and he's a really tiny model. That crown is 100 points also. Always has the bubble. The bubble grows as it grows bigger, a way bigger footprint, and a way tougher platform.
Right. Now, one thing, James, when you say wholly within, are we talking a model wholly within or the whole unit?
The whole unit.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a model by model basis, it wouldn't be so bad at all.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Because like then it would still not be like the whole unit's getting the effect, but every model that is.
Yeah, no, it is model by model. You can pull those first.
So you can have like 3 models with inside the aura, and at least get like 3 5-ups before you have to take regular saves.
Yeah.
So so that's cool, and so that's not bad.
But it's not how 7th was, or even some things in 8th, where it just has to touch one model and carries all the way through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
George, I do want to mention, just because it's no longer visible in the comments, but we did have one of our Patreons, Cleep, ask about how do we get the 3D printed files that our Patreon gives access to. I don't know whether or not that's something to answer on the stream or not, but so that we know.
No big deal, thank you. Yeah, I've not been able to pay much attention to the chat so far. It's super easy. All you do is sign up, and we send via email. So I've sent an email, I believe, to all the people that have signed up. I don't think I've missed anyone, but if I did and you're catching the show, please just message us on Patreon, and we definitely get you all those files, including all the music files. Which, speaking of which, that's a nice little segue to some of the cool 3D printed stuff going on. I'll just show you guys an image of this sick Necron setup. We got Mike on the show right now, and he commissioned Table Top Alchemy, Warp Charge Gaming's secondary company here, 3D printing to make this huge Necron set. And here's this giant pyramid and everything. Chris is working on this right now.
Yeah, this is a fun set, man. I'm enjoying what I'm doing to it so far. I mean, sanding is not my favorite thing to do in the world, but I have definitely expanded my hobby tools as a result. I have so many different kind of sanding bits now to speed up the process for my electric Dremel. I've kind of been flying through it because that giant box you gave me, I'd had stagnated on progress for a moment until I'd bought a new sanding bit for my Dremel, and now I'm just kind of like burning through it pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, yo, you guys can't see it tonight, but one of the sickest things that just went down is James just came up with a concept for 32 mil and 25 mil perfectly spaced at 1 inch and 2 inch adjustable movement trays. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I can't take credit for coming up with the concept.
sure.
There was somebody, I don't even know who originally came up with the concept of turning movement trays. But when I saw it, and it was in their prototype phase, I was like, man, that is an amazing idea. And it took a while of trial and error to figure out the right math, but I finally got it down. And then when it came to the spacers, like they were really hard to get on and off. So I had to make a clip style so that they just clip on and off. So you can actually in-game change from the 1 inch spacer to the 2 inch spacer and not slow yourself down.
That's cool.
I got to print a few of them off so far. My bed wasn't completely leveled, but I got a few protos, and I can see that it's super dope. I'm really looking forward to it.
And these are, since we don't have a visual medium for this, these are basically dynamic kind of rotating movement trays. So you can literally, instead of just having the straight lines, you can pivot them at certain joints so that it's not as rigid as a lot of existing movement trays.
Yeah, and it's tight because at its full 2 inch coherency, we just recently made some static ones that are all straight. He wants to see them. I don't have them right now. Yeah, let me at least show you these. If you guys look closely in this picture, there's a bunch of movement trays. I'll try to zoom in a little bit here, maybe. But there's a what's going on here is that there's these straight trays down there. Let me see if I can get it going here. There we go. You can barely see it, but right now they're so piled up, all those blood letters, you would never know, but they're exactly 1 inch apart right now, and all those can expand out to be this huge, long screen. And when you have those 2 inch spaces like that, literally with a 30-man unit, you could cover the entire board.
Hey, George.
Yeah. I can't see yet. One sec. You're showing something cool.
James has got him on
shit.
stream.
Well, that's way cooler than what I'm showing. There you go. Let's show James.
Hold up. Get James on cam.
Blam.
I had the 32s disassembled, but I had these within reach.
Oh, man. Those Marines look really nice, too.
What's dope is they slot into it, so, like, it holds them.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Look at that 2 inch spread.
Upside down, now you're just talking crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think it's kind of cool. So this is the 1 inch, this is the 2 inch.
It's so cool. Oh, I want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've ever since we saw that prototype from somebody else messing with it, we've wanted it at Warp Charge, Tabletop Alchemy. So
dude, I wish I could give them credit. I would throw out like huge shout outs, but without knowing how to get that design, I had to design it myself. I mean,
right.
Otherwise, I'd give that guy all the credit.
Yeah, I feels you. Big shout out to the community at large. Let's all work together. But yeah, that's we're not selling our files. We're just giving it as a reward for those that are able to support us on Patreon. We know that that's not something everybody can do, but know that it's all big love, and we appreciate it. Whatever you can.
Hey, and if you can't do it and you want those, send us an email, and we'll get to print them for you.
Yeah, we can always print. That's true. We'll be happy to figure that out for you as well. Some other sweet stuff coming down the pipeline is some new dice. We got those ordered up, and that's also got to thank our Patreons members there, because that definitely helped to make that happen. So we have a new order of 500 coming in. We got pre-orders up on the website. Just looking forward to some sweet new colors. Last week's episode, we were talking about switching a few of these colors out and picking some alternatives, but that actually got shut down by Chessex. They didn't have those available, so we went back to our stock. A little bit of other news just for funsie here. I got it is we just got these trophies up at Battlegrounds. We finished this past weekend the Battle in the Warp Season 1 finale that you guys can catch the streams up both on Twitch, and I've been posting them on the back end on YouTube. One of my favorite matches over the weekend, I'll show you the thumbnail, was me with I played the very first match on stream just to make things go smooth, and plus it was a sick matchup against Ryan from Those Once Loyal, and he was bringing his Death Watch, and I had my fun tournament list as the tournament TO of running a Brass Scorpion and a Lord of Skulls stacked with a bunch of buffs. It was basically like 5 to, I don't know, maybe 7 characters. It was all meant just to buff these 2 Lord of Wars, and it was hilarious because my first 2 games in a row I went against like 5 to 6 assassins, and the assassins just came in and wrecked all my buff characters. It's like
no.
it was pretty funny. The buff characters are what makes it work. But you guys got to check out the bat rep against me and Ryan. It was super fun. I was talking a lot of shit streaming at the tournament, so that was a great game. But yeah, we finished the finale of the tournament season 1. So next up is Battle in the Warp, which I am super pumped about. Battle in the Warp First Crusade. The whole tournament series, we've been calling it Battle in the Warp for the last year or so. I did have an image of some poker chips, but we got our custom dice in. We got our plaques on the wall, and here's some real big news, right? I forgot about this. That's worth announcing is that we decided with the collaboration of Coastal Wargaming, the guys based out of Virginia Beach, Norfolk, awesome gaming crew who's going to be collaborating with us on the First Crusade major event that we're throwing. 64 people. It was going to be top 16 going to day 2, but we worked it out with Battlegrounds at Coastal Wargaming. Everybody's on board to do 2 days in full, all 64 people both days. So that's
nice.
huge. So excited about that. And that's, a big part of the fact that James is coming down and seeing Battlegrounds for the first time with our Chicago friends, Robles and Kevin. So I'm super pumped about that. We got Tumby coming from New Zealand. We might have Steven and some crew coming from Knoxville. I haven't met those cats, but apparently some good friends of yours,
They're
Chris.
cool. Yeah, actually, you probably saw Steven because when we were at Adepticon, he was doing the paint judging for the Long War event.
Okay. Cool.
Which was very impromptu because I was like, yo, like me and the Warp Charge cats are going out to Adepticon, and he was like, oh, dude, like I'm gonna drive with some of my people, even though we're probably not gonna get any events, and they just got involved in like the hobby element of it, which I thought super cool. And Steven actually, speaking of which, did pretty well at a recent GT. We had one of our locals as well, not one of our locals, but one of our crew, David Heatwole, and Austin Wingfield was there as well. Austin took first, David took third, Steven took 11th, and that was at, I forget the name of the event, but it was one of the North Carolina stores, the store that sadly, in terms of like hobby news recently, is closing down. That's the store that Stephen Ford is based out of, aka Juice.
Beats Lab Gaming, yeah. So, yeah, they had a short run, but it looked like they were really throwing some cool events down there. So that was a thing to see them go for sure.
But I mean, at least like silver lining on the hobby. Like I know that they're still looking to do more events at new venues and considering. So hope to see some more things happen in our local sphere,
Yeah, totally.
You're a sphere.
Yeah, you're a sphere, Chris. Totally random and aside, but just because I don't want to pull this up anymore, I got I got some buddies that wanted to create content for Warp Charge Gaming to film themselves doing the role-playing game Apostles of Wrath Black Crusade. I guess it's I'm not sure of the editions of Horus Heresy.
Jealous. You have no idea how jealous I am, George. Like, I have wanted to play the 40k RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons nerd style. Do you want to
jump on this group, dude? They're playing Saturday nights at like 11 o'clock.
Saturdays, like it's like one of the constant things for me is that like Saturdays can be really weird for me, and that's the main reason I can't agree to do this.
I'm sure they'd be down to let you jump in and out. The cool thing, like they definitely got me interested with like the fact that they're all being chaos cultists, and they're gonna be going down the path of choosing their chaos gods, and apparently there's like a planet infested with like zombies and Nurgle, and like they ended up like causing massacres and making people die and stuff. So it sounds pretty wild and crazy. So anyways, we actually just posted that. I haven't got to watch the full episode yet. My bros, particularly Dalton, he's next to the GM here. We got a cool little layout if you look at the YouTube screen where we got the GM, and we kind of came up with our initial design of how the layout's going to be. I'm excited to see what they came up with. It's only going to get better if there's any chinks in the road here. It is the first episode with some new content creators, but excited to expand and try and work together with the community. And Dalton's a really cool cat, especially. So looking forward to see what they come up with. You guys can catch that on channel and see how we do at doing some role playing presentation.
Mike, I feel your pain. I sincerely feel your pain, Mike.
What's Mike's pain?
Saturday night is difficult for those of us peons who work in the restaurant industry.
Respect. Cheers. Chris tips his glass of that. He killed his glass. Nice. Well, shit. So yeah, trash. Trust the trash. Bring a bunch of troops. I think that's funny. 270 gaunts. A whole bunch of demons.
That list is vicious. But as we were joking, I almost feel like it would be easier just to glue my entire army to like one sheet of plastic card and just deploy it. Like, yep, done.
You guys remember the team tournament at Adepticon, and we all fought the orc team, and they played mass orcs like champs. They had like 250 orcs, I think. They had a buttload.
That game was vicious.
But they got it done with the massive hordes by playing in a team setting. So it's like, yeah, on your own, that army sounds ridiculous. But what if you do it with two people and they're like put their bandana on and getting like drink from their beer cup hat, then like you're ready to go, dude.
Yeah. No, that was just so many orc boys. They didn't even have a codex at that point, but it was just so many of them that like it was just overwhelming.
Yeah, I brought like the Undying. That was back when you could like warp surge pink horrors to a 3+, I think, and they still.
That was the Adepticon that 7 Hive Tyrants won. That was before the Rule of 3. Yeah, yep. That was literally that Adepticon.
Yep, and they still walked over those pinks, man. Yeah, that was nuts. You guys both got me wanting my changeling back in my list. I gotta figure that
out. I think the changeling is clutch in that list.
All right.
The only demon prince that doesn't serve you a purpose is the Nurgle demon prince.
Yeah.
So bring him down to a Poxbringer, so you still get a spell, and then.
I really need the Scrivener right now. I just have the Poxbringer. I need to get those for that +2 move with the Scrivener. So I figure I'll just drop them, take the Scrivener, and then I can take the changeling as well. Yeah.
But you need a Poxbringer for Masma.
Well, I already have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Because they're battalions. Like it's
cool.
Yeah, they all got like their buddy and the demon prince.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta have Pox.
So Nurgle demon prince getting dropped, so it'd be Poxbringer and Scrivener, and then I'll get the changeling. Okay.
Yep.
Word. Trash. Trust the trash.
Yeah, dude. No,
it's
like
not trash, bro. The only thing is, if there was a way to fill out your battalions and still have like 200 points left over to summon, would be ideal.
Yeah, for those pink splitting and/or summoning, that would be pretty cool.
Dude, because then you could flux like assassin points.
I mean, there is. I could easily just turn the other 30 pink into brimstones, and then like you don't have to. You think the plague bearers are clutch instead of more Nurglings? That's a hard question for me. I feel like more Nurglings is better than plague bearers.
I love Nurglings.
Well, you
hate
need at least
playing against
one
them.
plague bearer unit.
Yeah.
But if someone has a shit ton of fire, you need 2. So that's where summoning's clutch is. Like you can just bring that extra unit when you need it. And then like if they don't have that kind of fire, but you need to get out and touch them, you can go pinks. And if they have high armor and like they're coming right at you, super elite, you can bring in the bloodletters. And if there's no way for you to summon demonettes, but if you could, they're there for taking out massive hordes of just bullshit.
Well, that's where let me pull up the image again for our friends at home while we mention it here. But yeah, that's where, because like I was even for funsie, I would like to put in a. I do have a cool keeper. Keeper of Seekers should run as a demon prince. I like running the old school greater demons as demon princes nowadays.
That's a good call because they're the size.
Right. So it's fun. Oh god. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. All right, cool. Army's up on the screen. Good. No, it's not actually. So yeah, what I was just thinking about is, what if I just go all summoning? That makes me want to summon everything.
No, you definitely need at least one plague bearer squad on the board, and then you need to fill out your battalions. So like, I like the corns there because you have to give them all the buffs. Yeah, you got to give them all the buffs in the beginning.
Right.
So you need that. You basically need your Nurgle battalion exactly how it is.
So do I just drop the Zinch? Do I just drop the Zinch as summoning?
No, dude. You definitely want at least one unit on the board with a Demon Prince and a Changeling, because if you get first turn, you can now move them up further.
Okay. I mean, so do I just turn one of the pinks into some Brimstones and save that for summoning?
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then take out 10 Bloodletters from the 30-man blob just for your extra points.
Okay.
So that you just rock 3 20s, because at 30, when you're deep striking, you're costing yourself a command point to deep strike the extra. Like,
yeah, I just hate losing my 2 up to hit.
Oh, it's great, but if you have something taking your Overwatch, dude, you're already going to be getting in there, and you're going to just go with them first.
I could even like try to use the Nurglings as the Overwatch screen.
Dude, I do it all the time. Nurglings Overwatch screen, vehicles as Overwatch screens. I'll use characters as Overwatch screens sometimes.
Right. All right. So I'm going to go to 320 Bloodletters. I'm going to drop the pink for a Brim, and then I'll have on the board just a Plague Bearer squad and a pink squad, and I'll have enough summoning to basically bring in a whole nother pink squad or a whole nother Bloodletter squad.
Or a whole nother Plague Bearer. It all depends on what you're facing.
Right. So that's pretty fun.
And then, like, if you also can compare those to, like, Demon Princes and, like, an elite, or something elite, like, there's a lot of flex. Like, because when you get into the elites and the fast attacks, you're looking at normally speed or heavy hitting power. So if you go against a lot of tanks, sometimes you might need heavy hitting power. I mean, it's really surprising what a Skull Cannon can do. A lot of people overlook them, but they get, like, extra shit on charging, and they get to shoot a big blast. Like, sometimes they're very distracting.
Exalted Flamers are good too when you're playing around with Tzeentch.
They are shockingly good, especially because they're characters, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and what's amazing is when you summon, there's no such thing as the rule of 3 anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you break the rule of 3 with summoning and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so you can literally summon 8 Exalted Flamers, all characters hiding behind all your bullshit trash.
Jeez.
Yeah, trash, baby.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like having that summoning flex allows you, if you're a good general, you can almost win any game.
And I can also, like, if I decide that my shooting's really worthwhile, I can turn that into splits, and I can just split the pink so that I never lose below 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and just keep putting it out, because sometimes you don't need those extra points to beat somebody, because what you have can face almost anything.
Yeah.
So George, I showed something earlier. So the last tournament we had, I missed because I was attending a punk rock event / flea market kind of deal. But I mentioned that partially because of all the live music, and I know you're involved in that. But beyond that, I purchased something there with the intention of maybe, hopefully, giving this out as an award at our tournament.
Okay.
The way we've been leaning, I kind of think, and I know this is very subjective, but I would love to give this to the quote-unquote trashiest list of the Battle in the Warp.
Ah, yes, award the trash.
So
Woo!
I have acquired this. I feel like it's very Warhammer-esque. I mean, obviously, for anyone who's flying to our event, like James, you can get this on a plane. But
dude, have you seen the size of me, bro? Like, that is like perfect for me to be a fucking cultist.
That's
like,
true.
Dude, I'm a straight up cultist with that in my hand. The trash cultist monster.
So I would like to, if possible, find in some capacity to give this to one of the War Masters for our Battle in the Warp.
One of the trashiest War Masters, you mean?
I mean, you know what? I think trashy can also be improvisational, and this is literally made out of car parts. So,
yeah, giving it to the trash master.
Nice. Okay.
But
okay.
I digress. On the trashy list, I like my list design, but Heretic Hornet doesn't seem to be in the chat, so I don't have as many bug input to
I do think it's enjoyable to compare armies with who can put, like, when you take armies and put out their like the troop spam, like who can put out the best horde, and and everyone kind of has unique hordes that make them a little bit. They have a niche over someone else, like the 240 bodies versus how many bodies the demons can put out. Like, we're getting close to that number, but not that number. But we have an
I'm gonna have way more bodies. And I will, across my army, probably be -1 to hit and 6 up feel no pain if I go Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
But admittedly, my army offensively is very weak compared to yours, I think.
Yeah, we have more versatility with the offense, and the Plague Bearers in themselves are 5-up, 5-ups with T4. 4-up invulns on pinks, but then again, there's that conversation. But then there's the orcs, and with their leadership shenanigans and how much they can stack on having huge blobs of guys, and They can put out Feel No Pains, and they got big mechs. They got the jump. They also have a Tide of Traders once per game, and then there's the Heretic Astartes with the crown and their own kind of their Tide of Traders. They can do every turn with the Red Corsair's CP battery. There's a shit ton of guard. I mean, I don't know about out of all of those, the guard scares me the least when you talk about spamming a whole bunch of guard bodies.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Guard, they use their bodies to hide the real threat.
Yep.
Just the sake of them spamming bodies, I'm less scared of compared to other armies.
Any other armies I didn't name that, like, I guess, like, we're talking Necron warriors and just like a ridiculous amount of Necron warriors that never die. That can actually be probably more serious than I might give it credit for.
I mean, with a bunch of cryptex to improve the reanimation, it could definitely be like literally like pulling teeth. Certainly.
Mike just hollered out again, our Necron friend, about he's going full trash. Trash for the win. Trust the trash, Mike. We want all the Warp Charge gamers to bring the trashiest trash to the meta, and amongst all our friends, or excuse me, all of our compadres, our opponents that we would go up against, we would say, oh yeah, we're gonna bring knights. Can't wait for those new Chaos Knights. Can't wait for I'm gonna bring my Brass Scorpion. You know, getting to bring all those Meltas and Las cannons and everything else, and then we come with the trashiest trash and just laugh and laugh. I want it. Yeah. What do you?
This is how I've been playing, all until Mono Faction came along, and I've been trying to figure out different ways.
Yeah.
I always threw cultist trash at people, hiding my characters in the midst of it.
It's fun. I had some cultists be really annoying to me in that stupid game I played with Will, and the whole shutting off OPSEC. That's another thing that the Heretic Astartes have in their favor when you come to the trash talk.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I want like badges and shit. Trust the trash talk.
What up, Tau Dark?
Oh, nice. What up, Tau?
I don't know that your beneficiary is still here, Tau Dark, but you got a special thank you from your shopping spree recipient.
Yep, that was super cool. Super cool. It's good to have Charlie on the episode too.
And Big Cleat, respect. You are one of I don't think we're the majority, but there's more than one of us in the restaurant crowd.
Hell yeah. Oh, there's Charlie. Nice. What's up, man?
What up?
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. We've been talking a lot about corn and things like that. I don't remember ever getting to ask you, James, but what was this cool Slanesh speaker thing you made? I got a picture of it.
It's just a speaker grill I designed and 3D printed to go on a small Bluetooth speaker. I was going to make a speaker, like print the box, but the parts are going to cost me like $15, and I was able to get the actual speaker all completed for $12. So I got the speaker, printed the grill, and I'm going to finish it in a way that it's going to be my plinth for the Noise Marine character dude for a painting competition. He's going to jam out on that, and I'm just going to play Steel Panther the entire time it's at the store.
Yeah, Steel Panther.
Dude, that's so cool.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah. And then I'm ordering those Dark Elves slaves, like the chicks that are all bound, and they're going to be at his feet.
Very cool.
Dope.
Yeah, super 80s, bro.
Yeah, man.
That is almost like the forge out of which 40K was born, so I super approve.
Yeah, it's a big salute to that. And what's dope is the speaker actually is a decent quality speaker, so I've been jamming out on it.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Play a game, put it on. It's pretty cool.
We need more. We need more speakers built into our models and display boards.
Dude, I mean, I think I touched on it after we went on our Adepticon trip most recently, but I super appreciated. There was at least like 4 or 5 game tables where people had brought speakers and were blasting music, at the respective games, and I don't know what it is, man, but something about being able to play with music, the tempo, I find that I play faster, more maybe coherently, ?
Oh, man.
I don't
know. Ryan from Those Once Loyal was watching a stream yesterday, I think, or the day before, and I have a saying in the store because I control the music from the Warp Charge computer, and when the music goes dead, it's it just makes me feel gross inside. The silence is deafening. Is my catchphrase. He had jumped on the thread and said, "The silence is deafening, George." I can't take it. Yeah, I have to. I really enjoy it, and I was so thankful when Battlegrounds installed a sound system. Granted, I did bitch about it several times. So
Listen, man, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
That's right. That's right. Man, I can't wait for James to get to see Battlegrounds, man. You're gonna
Dude,
love it.
I'm really hype on that.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna piss on the front door just to mark my territory. It's not an insult. It's just to mark my territory.
It's out of love. We get it.
Yep.
Well, okay. Whatever you gotta do, James. It's free country.
Dude, I gotta do a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna do them.
Yeah, we're
all the things.
Gotta stream and because yes, James never even got to like see the stream rig in person. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool.
I live so far away
I know.
in a place that just passed laws.
Yep. Yeah, it would be amazing. I can't even imagine what it'd be like if we lived in the same place. That we would get a lot of stuff done.
I mean, I'm not, like speaking it into existence at this moment, but I mean, I feel like the dream is to mini wargaming that shit, maybe build an empire.
Yeah, they if we get even close to mini wargaming, those guys are fucking set up, man.
Yar.
My
Do
God.
not need an empire. Just need a place to play games and pay the bills.
That is pretty much the
True.
word. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I sure would love to have a huge building that has a freaking tournament hall in it and multiple studios and people on staff, and they have a lot going on at mini wargaming.
And an alcohol license.
Yeah, do they?
Yes.
Did they get that going too? No, we should, right?
Yeah,
Damn right we should.
I will never open up a club or a store unless I know that I can legally drink there.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the game has always classically been described as a beer and pretzels kind of game. I feel like the game store doesn't sell pretzels, so why not max out on what we got?
Yeah, that would.
Damn you, Virginia.
That would be a whole thing. I mean, there's like barcades and stuff. It's just kind of up to people to actually make it happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's impossible to do around here. It's just a belief that it would actually be successful.
There's that spot really close to where you live, George. It is a barcade. I've definitely taken like 2 or 3 chicks on dates on that place.
That place
is legit.
That place is nuts, dude. Because they have
that place is dope.
They have freaking the beer taps are on the wall, and they're just like self-serve. You just like put your card in, like you're getting arcade like tokens, but it's beer, and you can make like suicide beer like on the wall.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then you just play a bunch of arcade games. It's nuts. There's a lot of arcade games in there. I was playing Mad Tetris, getting down. Anyways, a little off topic for our typical 40K conversation.
Nonetheless,
we're trying to get James
You're
excited.
off topic.
You are the topic, James.
Dude, you know what? I gotta say,
What?
GW is making paint cheaper, and I was wrong.
Ooh, yeah.
There you go. Bring us back on topic. Yeah.
I mean, wrong-ish. I mean, I wasn't like wrong. It was wrong-ish. You know what I mean? You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You were in the ballpark, but like you hadn't quite hammered out their exact strategy.
Yeah.
I said you were going to be pleasantly surprised, but I meant by the paint themselves, not necessarily this.
Yeah. So, like, I just went by the info they gave me and how I understand business for the most part. And they're right about the contrast paints. Like, there's a new bottle size. They're basically charging you $1 per milliliter for contrast over other paints. But all the other paint prices are staying the same except for air. It's getting a bigger bottle. And it's actually going to be like $1 less per bottle. But like, since it's so much bigger, it's like you're buying 2 bottles to save $2.
So I actually kind of have a follow-up, and this is entirely hypothetical, like just prodding for your thoughts, James. But do you think that they have done that because they know contrast is aimed at, not to throw any shade, but like the more novice painters? Do you think they're trying to make sure that the higher level quote unquote painters are well taken care of in the process? Do you think that's kind of like a hook, line, and sinker for them? Or do you think this is just kind of, who knows?
I'll be honest, I never thought about them thinking about the higher level painters or lower level painters. I always thought they would just think about selling product. And I still believe it's just about selling product. By selling a bigger bottle, like they have a higher like dollar part, like a dollar amount being sold. So by having that, like they can actually inflate their numbers for stockholders. So even though they lessen the price for us, they've made it so that it's going to be more attractive to price holders if you continue to buy the same amount of paint. So that's how I look at it. And also, these fucking bottles suck. That's why I designed a holder, and everyone else in that has a 3D printer and has free time develops a stand to make sure your washes don't spill. These bigger bottles are going to do that even easier.
I've never had that happen yet, but
dude, technically tomorrow. Dude,
you are doomed. You are doomed. You are doomed. You are doomed. Yeah, you were going down.
I had the whole crowd just gasped.
Yeah,
I just invited like bad luck onto that one. So I hope I roll some sixes and make some invuln saves here.
So much horror.
Man.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to an awesome, amazing painter that I follow, Demon Rich. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook. But he was one of the people that actually, Richard Gray is his name. He got invited to that contrast propaganda video thing, that retreat, and he has gotten a set taken home, has played with it, and he's doing some amazing things with it. And it's how I would do it, like how I was already thinking that you go with the zenithal highlighting, you do your pre-shades, and then you put the contrast paint over it so that you have your depth of light through this translucent pigment. And then he goes in with the normal colors and highlights it up, and then he goes in and mixes some of the contrast paints together to create different pigments for skin tone variations. Definitely follow him on Instagram. That's probably the best place to follow him. But you see what he's doing to these trolls, because he wanted to try a troll army.
What's his name again?
Richard Gray, or Demon Rich.
Okay.
So at this point, you think this is confirming what you were thinking, that this is almost more of like a glaze style painting?
Yeah, no, it's definitely for the new people. It's how they always thin your paints, thin your paints, thin your paints. So basically, they thinned the paints and added more pigment. So, and then they made a better, a proprietary carrier liquid that's going to spread the pigment so that it doesn't stain. And it's going to create your, basically, when you're doing watercolor, for instance. Like if you're doing watercolor, you're going to start with the light areas and work your way to darker areas.
Yeah.
And then with oil paints or acrylic paints, you start with the dark and work your way light. So you throw a shade and then you highlight yourself up with your oils and acrylics. Well, when you're doing watercolor, you go to your light point. Or you start with your light point and you go to the dark. So you get more vibrant type coloring. And with this proprietary mixture they made, which I believe is just kind of a semi-gloss satin type finish, is causing it to basically pull the deeper pigments into your recesses, shading your recesses, leaving very little pigment and just kind of staining your top surface areas, causing your highlight. And it's creating this three-tone that you try to achieve with their layering system all in one coat. So by them making it more expensive and saying, hey, this does all three jobs in one coat, they're like, this is cheaper.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, to sell it and to get people painting their models quicker. And I believe it will do that. But I would never paint with them like that. But I definitely see myself buying them, playing with them, and maybe finding a use for certain colors and having them in my arsenal. And then the entire time I'm going to be pissed off that I paid extra money for paints. But
I mean,
it's convenience, right? I mean,
I can certainly see. I've seen other reviews mention, it may save you, you're going to buy one bottle for 3, but for painters like you, James, the highly technical painters, I mean, I keep coming back to remembering that Lord of Change you worked on, where you used something I think it was 16 colors, what, just a staff. So it's really it's certainly not going to take away from the high end of painting.
Oh, by no means. And with their air paints, I'm glad they got cheaper. I have ways so they won't spill, so that's kind of cool. But I never really used their air paints to begin with. I mean, all it is taking the same paint and thinning it down so it can go through an airbrush. So I rather buy the smaller paint than to get the thinner myself, and then I have more paint. Yep. So I'm not sure if I'll ever buy their air paint, even though it went cheaper. So I don't think they took care of the bigger artists. So like when you said that viewpoint of like them taking care of the bigger or higher end artists and still having this product for a novice, I mean, it's a cool way to think, but I really think it's all about profits.
Okay. No, that's a fair opinion. Certainly. I have tried some of their air paints on colors that I use out of their Citadel line, and I'll be honest, even with their air paints, me personally, I still thin them a little bit. So, I mean,
one color, and it was some type of green, and I accidentally bought air paint. I thought it was the one color. It was in the wrong spot. I didn't look at the bottle. I was just happy that the color was there. And yeah, you still need to thin it to send it through an airbrush.
Yep.
But it's basically the same paint.
Yep, I agree.
If I painted, which I don't, I would be traumatized to not like thin my paint. Anytime I even touch paint, I think thin my paint. It's
Listen, man, Duncan said you only need one thick coat now.
PTSD, man. Like that's like they go hand in hand. You paint, make sure you thin your paints. It's like the tattoo that shit on your forehead.
Yeah, man. That's the mantra. If you've learned nothing else from any like painters in the hobby, if you're not thinning your paints, you're just fucking it up.
Yeah, if you're not sending it to James, you're fucking up. That's what I say.
James is backed up for a while because GW wanted to change the rules and actually try to play the game. So like we take fun serious. So I still have to play the game to take fun serious.
Right.
So backed up a little bit, but once my army's finished and get these commissions off the table, send me all your damn army. Send them all.
Yeah,
I'll use contrast so you can say your army's painted with contrast. I don't care.
I actually there's two armies I keep trying to get painted by you, James. One, my buddy, both James has a sick army, or James Will, and so does my buddy Brandon at Battlegrounds, and they're both demons. Will has way too many unpainted models, so he should get anything painted by you. But one of the armies that I want to see done most, man, is he has this Blood Crusher army, and it's actually there in Age of Sigmar. There's Blood Crushers and what do they call them? Skull Crushers.
Oh, the Skull Crushers.
Blood Crusher, Skull Crushers, and Skull Crushers are the mortals, where the humans are riding the demons, and the Blood Crusher are the demons. And so he has a whole army of the Skull Crushers with the mortals riding. And he's done these sick conversions, dude, where he took these like ogres and took off the top part of the head of the Skull Crusher and made them like centaur juggernauts.
Interesting.
So it looks super sick, dude. Like they're holding these big ass spears. Like it's all the leaders, because like every unit of 9, he has like 3 units of 9, and every unit of 9 has a leader in it, and it's like a fucking centaur guy coming out of a juggernaut.
Dude, that's cool.
It's so cool, but he wants to see the armor like in like a bone white with blood splattered all over it. And display board wise, the dream is to have it on like a fucking like a flowery field, like you're in like the back in the day, like the Smash Brothers commercial where they're like running through wood and it'd be nice.
Oh yeah,
like that kind of thing. But have like all these Blood Crushers like stampeding through like a beautiful flowery field with blood everywhere on white armor. That's what we want. Okay.
So happy together indeed.
Yeah, so I need you to do that there, James.
Sure.
That's probably going to be the Skullmaster or Skull Crushers, they don't look that intensive on the detail compared to some. Like if that's basically the army, is just mass painting like 27 Skull Crushers. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
You got that.
Yeah, I'm kind of backed up on the hobby too, but nowhere near on the level of intensity that James is. I'm actually building a lot of stuff for our mutual friend Ali, who was with us last Adepticon. Actually, Steven met Ali, which I wasn't aware of. Apparently, Ali went on an extensive inebriated rant Steven, which is how he met Ali.
Ali, if you're watching, you were drunk. If you're not drunk at Adepticon, then you probably missed the memo. But
I actually got a text from Steven while we were at Adepticon after we got back to James's place that was asking if Ali is physically okay.
yeah,
One
that was like the last night. I got asked several times if Ali was okay as well that day. And I was like, I guess so. Is he standing up? I guess he's fine. Fuck if I know.
But I'm building, let's see, I don't know what these Nurgle models are called. They're these like blight things.
Blight
They're
things?
definitely Death Guard. Yeah, those things. Some homunculi models. I think there's like 20 Havocs and like 20 Grotesques that I'm currently building. Not my typical MO, but Ali needed them assembled. Jeez. I thought I'm Chris.
You're Mo now, buddy.
You're a Mo.
But no, that's cool, Chris. You're in deep, man. I'm really excited to see the Necron train.
Yeah, I mean, so luckily Ali's project has to be done by not tomorrow, but the next Friday. So I'll burn that out pretty quick. It's been nice because while I'm waiting for glue to set, since I have really unfortunate glue at the moment, I've been sanding and priming models. So it's kind of been a nice alternating rhythm of the hobby over the last 2 days.
Very nice. Got that rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I've definitely been on the grind this past week doing editing and putting out videos. I put out for fun, Chris. You got to check it out. It's whatever, but I got tired of having a huge amount of data on the computer being taken up by our 14,000 point apocalypse game we did last year.
How dare you? Don't even say it.
So I time-lapsed it all at 12,000% speed. And
that's reasonable.
I just time-lapsed it to a song, and it's going 12,000% faster than it should be. So I just posted that today. You can watch the APOC battle.
Speaking of which, I know it's not super pertinent to exactly what you said, but I feel like within a week of the new APOC book coming out, you and I need to get another game in.
I want to bring APOC trash. I want to play.
Because
the list that we're looking at, I'm bringing all 3 Chaos Gods, and I got the Tzeentch, I got the the Nurgle, the Khorne. Well, I have 90 Plague Bearers. I have like 120 nearly 150 Horrors, and I have 120 Bloodletters. So, and then like 21 Nurgling. So that is my APOC horde. Get wrecked, bitch.
Well, here's to hoping they give me like an APOC stratagem that is just like remove all units over 30 models or 30 models plus.
Yeah. I wonder what there's going to be going on. I was like, if
who knows?
Objectives and OBSEC, I got this. But yeah, I would love to triple the amount of that list and just do it all 6,000 points of bodies. That'd be disgusting.
So Taldark made something that I think James would definitely agree with. He made the comment, Dear Games Workshop, dropper bottles are a thing. Please do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please use dropper bottles. I would so prefer that to the stupid containers we have.
Why do they not put it? Why don't we have dropper bottles?
Proprietary bottles allows them to keep more of their IP.
Well, they need to proprietarize a fucking dropper, right?
He's nuts.
We're getting towards the end of this episode. It's getting late. We're definitely digressing, and I think it's probably time to wrap it up on that note.
Dude, you're letting fucking Chris's nuts scare you off.
No. It's not these nuts. I'm like opening up DJ software and shit. You guys put
Naughty Snowball Master.
Huh?
What?
All I saw was on the desktop. There was a file named Naughty Snowball Mastered.
Oh no.
Guys, that was a party, okay? It's called Naughty Snowball.
Oh no, bro!
I feel like it's a sex thing.
I mean, it was a 4-story warehouse, and yes, it was Naughty Snowball Xmas, and I just DJ'd, bro, and had a great ass time. It was amazing. Woo! I should have got that picture from the warp charge there, Chris, with you the. Oh no. This doesn't. Oh goodness. Oh, that's why Chris rules. Chris will fuck you. Anyways, we gotta. We gotta get the hell out of here. All right, everybody. It's been real. Yeah, blood for the blood god. I'm showing him. I'm showing him right now. It's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Anyways, peace, everybody. We'll catch.